Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today, MJ Fun TV, currently trending on all social media platforms, is the news of Davido's aide, Israel, divorcing his wife. Davido's aide, Israel, breaking up with his wife. So guys, if you have been following the gist on all social media platforms, you will see that Israel and his wife have been bantering, insulting each other. Israel even posted about this, saying that she's a curse and that she has never had peace in his entire life, that any man who marries her is in trouble, that she deceived him into marrying him legally and then began to show her true colors, guys. It's not been a little thing on all social media platforms. They have been fighting back to back with his wife Sheila, throwing everything she has at him. Looking at this post Israel made, he said, marrying a lady because you met her during evangelism as a virgin, a pastor's daughter, a member of your same Winners Chapel church might not guarantee anything peace at all. Don't be too eager or weak to trust people. People can change at any time. People can be very ungrateful and deceptive. This is what Israel wrote. He said, I met Sheila February 19, 2022. We began friends and we later became intimate. She told me she would only lose her virginity to the man that would marry her. Since her Gep Cross River mother, who is now 41, who had earlier married two different men with two kids before marrying her father, and that she was due at marriage as 21. We fully agreed to her terms and conditions. I immediately began a full upgrade of our unkept situation by first giving her 300k and also replacing her tattered phone of less than 60k to a brand new iPhone 12 Pro Max of 860k in less than 2 weeks. I later also replaced the 12 Pro Max to a brand new iPhone 14 Pro Max of 1.2 million that she's currently using to slay. I did a lot of shopping for her, bought her clothes and bags, including expensive human hairs she's using to sleep with men. I proposed and she fully accepted. We later did a legal introduction, traditional and white wedding in Benin City. Sheila immediately changed by showing her true self after our wedding by wanting to set standards for me because she now felt she has blown as Gigi wife, fully verified on Instagram with more followers from her earlier struggling 3k followers when I met her. A fully sapa girl I met with just 2,700 in her account. I have never raised my hands on her any day. I don't beat women at all. I respect them so much. The last money for her upkeep was 100k. She now wakes up to tell me that I derive dignity in begging my oga and I am fully a slave and that I'm disgracing her on social media. I had earlier taken her to show my same Oga for the first time before we wedded when we were in Abuja Transcorp Hilton, and Oga asked her straightforward if she was ready for marriage and she fully answered by saying yes, and Oga immediately gave her 500k for airtime. Oga was fully present in Benin for my wedding after cancelling a 140 million naira show appearance. According to Israel Davido's aide, he said Oga even had to cough out another extra 30 million naira to get a jet since his own was away in America for servicing. She finally moved out of my house August 8th to Abuja to meet her friend Geneka, a well-known and verified prostitute for fornication after 4 attempts with flimsy excuses. Her Calabar mom, which is the most wicked and heartless woman every man should avoid as a mother-in-law. There is nothing I didn't do to please this woman, a pure fluke church deaconess. Sheila would always enter my Oga's DM to discredit me. She keeps showing everyone my Oga's chat that Oga doesn't like me at all, that Oga said he's even tired of me. I was fully the one that even introduced her to Oga being Davido. I was the one who told him to start following her back on IG. People should be careful of Sheila and her parents. They are fully gold diggers. They fully extorted me. They want to look for another highest bidder to continue and give their daughter to. According to him, because of all this, he immediately went into immediate depression, and thanks to his Oga Davido, that was how he was able to overcome this. Dre affirmed that Davido kept on calling to check up on him, but according to Sheila Courage, his wife, she said on her post, I sincerely apologize to any and everyone that my decision on how to go about this doesn't sit well with. According to her, this apology is for the people she respects and her parents who are topping the list. And then she's warning everyone coming up to her DMs to say nonsense that they should get lost. She made a post saying that if anything happens to her or any member of her family, that Israel should be held responsible, that he even went to her mom's shop to beat her up, that how could he try to kill her mom and also to kill her, that she's not going to allow this, and she also tagged the Nigerian police force in her post. According to her, before her ex-husband Israel came out to say anything, she was already planning to post, but she decided to hold back because she didn't want to involve the police without reaching out to someone she believed could help act on the issue. She said, I say make I move forward so I don't get the, oh, we shouldn't have brought it online yesterday, blah, blah, blah. This man carried boys to harass my mom at her shop. So guys, this lady was really angry at everything that was going on, claiming that Israel had taken people to harass her mom. According to her, you can drag me to the mud and back, make her phone lock up, but you don't get to do that to my family. You don't. Clearly, you don't value yours, but you know how much I value mine, and in extension, how I value my own family too, as I've taken them as mine. And anyone where they do, you can handle this better. When it reach your turn, do it as you like. When your parents, especially your mom, is being constantly abused by your supposed husband, when you are being locked out of your matrimonial home for no reason, when you are physically and emotionally abused, when you are constantly threatened, when your mental health is on zero, when you have series of panic attacks, when you are accused of taking pills to not get pregnant and you are deprived of doing anything, when you marry a man that gives no account of how the money realized from your wedding was spent, or how it is, or anything about it, or what it was used for, when you marry a man that all you want for is the best boy, is the weapon fashioned against you, and you marry a man that doesn't want to be productive, and when you try to push and encourage him, you are controlling, and he's, according to his words, they know they control a do man. When you experience your own, you do as you like. So this was a warning. She also posted the receipt of her phone, saying that both the phone and generator he collected from his mom yesterday when he went to her shop to fight her had been replaced by her dad, and everything he ever did, he was coerced to do it and forced to do it. She also said that she was never using a little Android phone like he said, but she was also using an iPhone when he met her, and all he's saying are just lies. According to her, I'm not here to run you all a whole story of what went down and what has been going on. The only thing Israel can brag about and still brags about is the online publicity he has given me. That is undisputed. A lot of you only got to know me during the wedding. Have I always been in the social media space though? Yes, I've been a 2 times beauty queen and had brands I was working with already. Was my mother ever married to anyone before my dad? No. Did anybody deceive Israel? No. Instead, it's this man that deceived the whole family, especially my father, who took a genuine likeness to him. My papa no be Otedola, but we are comfortable enough for him to be training 2 of my siblings in renowned private universities, running businesses, and paying every bill that needs attention without begging. Must I add that I'm from a very respected family, and this man is hell-bent on painting my family what it's not. Adams Oshimole and my dad are first cousins, for crying out. So me and my family aren't looking for a poverty eradication plan, and even if it cannot be Israel. This man saw me for the first time while I was on outreach, which beforehand I never knew of his online presence. He asked for my number, which I refused to give, but took his instead and never called him. Only dropped it off at the follow-up unit, after which I traveled that very day and wasn't back till the next week. And this man, they find me up and down until he got to my dad. He carried all kinds of certificates from church, claiming to be born again, that he's different, oh, he's this and that. My father fell for it because he's our church member and he had done this and that. That very day, he told my dad that he wanted to marry me. In fact, even before he met my dad, he told the person that helped him to get my father that he wants to marry me. According to Israel's estranged wife, Sheila Courage, she said that he assaulted and deceived her family, and that was one of the reasons for the divorce. According to her, she never had any issue with him serving his boss Davido, as he had said. As a wife, I only told my husband to get something doing, get a business running, start building a legacy, give him countless ideas on things he could possibly do. I just wanted him to have something going on for himself, which his family fully supports as it's consigned to everyone. According to this lady, she only wanted her husband, ex-husband Israel, to have something doing, not that she was telling him that there was any issue with his boss or any other thing. She was only trying to tell him to start up something for himself. According to Sheila Courage, the ex-wife of Israel, he literally used the wedding to gather money for himself. He wanted massive support and he got it. What I expected from him as the wife was, baby, see what we got, wetin we go use and do, or wetin I wan use and do. I don't think that's supposed to be anything. So even if he failed to do any of those, I overlooked. We started having issues from November. I would tell him I'm going to the salon. When I got there, he would text me to not come back. The first time this happened, I thought it was a joke, yet I hurriedly went back home because I was already living in fear. I got home and the gate man refused to open the gate for me. Say oga say make he no open gate. I called him on phone. He said I should go back to where I'm coming from. I was standing at the gate, frustrated and ashamed. I called his dad and reported him. His father called me back to tell me that Israel is insulting him. The father complained back to me. I asked the cab to start driving me around while I was calling him to ask the gate man to open the gate. After the plenty calls from his dad and me, he finally instructed the gate man to open the gate. I took the walk of shame back into the house. When he got back home that day, I was so hot I could not say anything. Till the next day, I told him calmly that no matter any issue we had, that I should not allow an answer that no. And I even explained to him how hot I was and how embarrassing it was. He didn't say anything, but he apologized after some days. No one aside the people on the streets and neighbors knew about this. I didn't know it was going to happen again and again and again and again. Both the church and family got involved to resolve issues regularly, and everyone kept saying you should be quiet about things like this. At some point, he stopped me from visiting my parents or my siblings from visiting. So according to her, this man, Israel, also didn't allow her siblings to visit her anymore or she visiting her people. Another thing was that she was going to keep her reserve on the issue. According to her, she saw the signs. She said one of the reasons was because of the rush in the wedding, and that even after she said they should give it time, he came up with a lot of excuses and threats. Most of the things he did regarding the wedding was without her consent. Like she said, down to invitation card, I didn't even get to see what the design looked like before it was printed. I only got to find out about stuff after it's been paid for. We had a fight that I told him that it seems as if he's an event planner he wants to marry because they're not carrying me along with the proceeding of the wedding. And what happened at the wedding, there was a huge turn up. It was elaborate, and was that what she wanted? According to her, that was not what she wanted. But Oga said he's a public figure and people had to do it. He had to do it big. The wedding happened and everything, but where are they now? That's the question she's asking. According to what she said here, as bad as it is, I still shoved it down. Like, as bad as everything was going on in her home, she still shoved it down. Like, he refused for her siblings to visit and everything. Like, she even said in most of the posts she shared, her friend was having her marriage, and weeks before then, she told her husband and everything. And at the day of the marriage, he suddenly decided that she's not going to go. My sister had to leave my house late at night, and I was left in the house with his sister who was staying with us at the time before he finally chased her out on another occasion that he locked me out and she opened the door for me at the instruction of the dad. I still didn't sleep in the house that night because he kept threatening both me and the sister. I went to my parents' house. My parents brought me back that since he's not around, I can stay at the house, but I was scared. I ran, and at this point, I was getting depressed. I was literally living in fear. Another time in January, I was to attend one of my close friends' wedding. He knows how close I was to this person, and the very day she told me of her wedding, he knew how excited I was. He knew when I got there, so the day of the wedding reached, I woke up early, served him, and did everything. I was ready to leave the house, and I met with him and told him I was going to my friend's house to help with the assistance since it was the traditional marriage. Started with, what if I say make you no go? I replied with, why you go say make I no go? He said, so you mean I don't have the right to tell you that you should not go? I said, you have, but why would you say that? You will at least give me a reason while I should not go, or an excuse or anything at all. But just saying I shouldn't go for something you know how I've been planning for months without any reason is unfair. He said, "Oh, yeah, don't go." I asked why. He said that no reason. But if you come off for this house, no come back again. I just stood for some minutes looking at him, then I left to another room. I was so pained, but didn't know what to do or even say at this point. This man was saying all sort of hurtful things to me, unprovoked, saying that I can never amount to anything. The only thing about me was that I was a virgin, that over his dead body, will he start any business for me? Over his dead body, this and that. At this point, I was just in tears. When he walked out of the room, I quickly locked the door. During this period, he accused my father of forcing him to marry me, said my mom's place doesn't last in marriage. My mom has been married for my dad for 23 years now and counting with no previous marriages. He literally made issues with everyone until he made a U-turn and started begging. After a lot of back and forth, we reconciled and I went back to the house. We talked things out and I literally begged that I don't want people to gather for a matter again. Every day, Wahala we need gathering. A lot of people were not in support of the marriage. That was what I used to beg him to not prove everyone right. That he literally doing all that they said and predicted of him. I started a new business that he didn't support at all, not financially or otherwise. And it was something I discussed with him before I had the class. And when I was finally ready to start, he wasn't willing to assist. I didn't want to wait or make an issue out of it. And I started with what I had. The day he refused me from going to my friend's wedding and I ran in and locked the door, he raised his voice higher and was talking and hitting the door. He kept on talking for over an hour. I'm not exaggerating. I had my first ever panic attack that day. The moment I heard him walk away, I ran out of the house. He started calling and texting me that as I've gone and I shouldn't come back. I took it that whatever triggered him to be that pain that morning, knowing that I did nothing to him, will calm down. I came back to the house and the gate wasn't locked. I was happy only for me to see that the gate of our flat was locked. I called him that I was back. He finally came back and told me to leave. This time, no gate man, it was him by himself. I didn't go for the wedding. I wasn't fit anymore. I told him if you are sending me out of the house, open the door, make I carry my things. He refused, that he would call me back another day to pack all my things out of the house. He called brands I was working with and threatened them not to do anything with me again. Some of them gave in out of fear, and even when I was asked what was happening, I couldn't say. The day he finally asked me to come and carry my things, he locked me inside the house, and that was the first time he hit me. When I was struggling to go outside, I had to run to the kitchen and hold a knife to defend myself until the police got involved. I ended up hurt, started battling with chest pain and the area I was hit. The scene was created in the neighborhood and were separated for a month after this incident. I started talking to him about getting a land. Inside marriage, I got to understand so many things and started speaking on it. I'm not a girlfriend at this point, so I'm seeking for growth on all ends. Bringing up suggestions on things he could do with his influence. We all know that both entertainment and the media at large isn't sustainable, especially when you are not a craft. It's from one excuse to another, and I'm wondering, you don't spend money on me. He has complained several that I don't ask for anything. I'm like, so what are you using money for? When in no day, I understand, but when in day, what do you spend on? I can't see anything, and we can't continue like this. I sincerely wasn't comfortable with him not doing anything substantial, pelling all other issues that I was gradually adjusting to at every slight opportunity. This man goes all out to insult my mom for no reason. I will first now say I marry you. This man started accusing me of taking pills to not get pregnant. The first time he brought it up, we talked about it and I assured him I wasn't, that I have no single reason to. And I explained how unhappy I was about the accusation in the best way possible. That's how I nearly turned to lab rat, doing series of tests to prove that I'm okay just to satisfy him. Nobody hear him. He met my mom to tell her I'm taking pills, met my dad and said same thing. I was having a shoot on the said day and he kept on testing, insulting me and saying all manner of things. When he finally aired out, he wasn't comfortable with influencing. I should get an office job. I was working at an FM already. He said a job and I said, okay, if you want me to stop influencing, set up business for me. I go stop him. You met me doing it. No mean say I no fit stop him if I get another thing to focus on. He turned it to a joke and say, no, our influencer, continue, carry go, no wahala. I knew obviously this was to avoid establishing anything, but I was like, okay, whenever you want me to stop, bring out money, make I start business. He organized a meeting with my parents and myself to still bring up the pills matter. I was upset because we talked about it as husband and wife, but involving my parents on a thing like this, I felt it was totally unnecessary. My parents stepped in and said, since it's an issue of concern, let's run tests. If it's a health challenge, we know what to do. If it's spiritual challenge, there's nothing God cannot do. That was when I opened up that I've been doing tests already. They advised we both do tests as the challenge can be from anywhere. According to Sheila Courage, you people are used to women showing weakness, but I'm sorry, I can't give that and I would never throw a pity party. So let the Barbie at Isreal DMW throw a pity party, and you all can go and feed on the lies he's serving. She said, my decision was an accumulated one. Abusing me is one thing, but extending it to my parents is a whole different thing entirely. For my own sanity, I left the house. In my head, as of then, is let's reset again, as we have been doing. But the extent this man went, I cannot forgive myself to live in such environment. I cannot be with someone that speaks love but shows wickedness in every way possible. And calling my friend a certified prostitute, even if she's not my friend, calling anyone that's very low. But then what else can be thrown at a woman? I pray God blesses us with friends that can stand with us, both spiritually and otherwise, in times of need. God bless you, Ginika, and I'm sorry I entangled in this mess. So guys, this lady really called out this man, Israel. She had a lot to say. She said, now here we are. I repeat, I'm not going to throw a pity party. This man is cooking a narrative to gain sympathy, serving lies. This is coming from a place of strength. This lady is all out, calling out Israel, saying everything that had occurred. According to her, she's not just going to keep quiet and allow everyone say things they don't know anything about, but she's going to say her piece. Like she also said, if I go to the hospital just to drop my blood sample without him, he would come to my office to pick me up and insult me to and fro. Results were out and my results came out okay. I only had a high level, something that generates milk, I think. But the doctor said that was okay and gave supplements to be taken. He was out after he made a whole show and dragged during the test, messed up the first result, and still insisted that I must be at the hospital with him when he's taking it. I had a panic attack due to shock of something he was telling me. I collapsed helplessly on the floor, and this man couldn't even lift me from the floor. He was calling my parents and left me to go and buy fuel. My mom was the one that carried me from the floor and cared for me till I felt better. He left me. We quarreled all the way back home at some point. I broke down in tears. When we got home, I left him and went to go and apologize to my parents on his behalf for the insult and unwarranted disrespect. I returned home. He stopped talking to me, wasn't talking to my parents. We travel and not tell me. This became more like a norm. I found out about his activities through his status. Not to talk about how he cares not about the expenses of the house. He would only give when he needs to show off. So guys, this lady Sheila Courage has a lot of things to say about this man Israel. And Israel, Davido's aide, also has a lot of things to say. He has called her names, talked about how terrible she is, and she has also done the same. So guys, what do you think about all this? What do you think is going on? What do you think is actually going on? Do you think this lady is at fault? And exactly, what do you think about how they are taking this matter and dragging themselves publicly, guys? Davido has also reacted to this post and also said that it's not everything that one would talk about. So guys, what do you think? What's your own opinion? Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and comment whatever you think about this video. Also share this video to your friends and loved ones, guys. Thank you so much for staying with us to the end of this video, and see you in our next video. Bye bye.
Thank you so much for watching this video. For daily entertainment, news and celebrity good and bad updates and all you need to know that's happening in the country, don't forget to hit this red subscribe button, turn on the notification bell to always stay connected to us. One love and God bless you all. Don't forget to thumbs up to this video and comment down below what you think about this.